Dai.
VinitalyTour.com presents.
Just imagine a rustic farm on the slopes of the Tuscan Maremma. Well, that's where we'll find Marco Bassetti, a businessman who came from the world of telecommunications, but he had a passion for food and wine, and he envisioned a place where you could make one of the great wines of Tuscany. And he provided a lot of his technical knowledge and skills, and he brought together a team of agronomists and enologists who could create just that wine, and we find that at La Corsa. Welcome so much to Vinitaly 2012 and the great wine you're presenting. Tell us about this. Now, these are all the Sangiovese grapes done in an historic style, but you've provided some new twists in terms of ideas and technology.
Yeah, well, modern technology was an old technology on my side, because the ground where there are my vineyard was the ground where the Romans, 2,200 years ago, they started to produce wine. It was a very famous wine there, because this part of the Tuscany, South Tuscany, is quite close to Rome. Okay, there was also a nice harbor there, and they used to ship the wine into Rome and also to French, because from there you can go to Elba, the island Elba, then Corsica, and then south to French. And you know that the Roman, they bring the wine to the French, and then the French, they, the Bourgogne, the Bordelais, it was the first vineyard there was seeded by the Romans at that time. So I found out in my ground a villa where they produce wine, okay, and if you can visit us, you can still see how they produce wine at the old time, So that's my technology.
Wow.
Because I discovered this, I asked to go deep on the ground and see if it was true that it was a good, humus ground in order to build, to grow up wine. And the analysis say that it was an excellent, mix of ground, terroir, So that's my reason. So my technology is quite old technology, I should say. It's not a really new one. And then, we produce wine not like the Roman did in the past, because now the technology is totally different. But the main reason, the main purpose of my wine is because that was ground chosen by the Romans at this time,
Now, tell us about the wines that we're having. They're 100% Sangiovese, and you do some other wines as well.
Yeah, we do three types of wine. One is 100% Sangiovese, and this is stay in the wood for 1 year and a half. Okay, and this is our Riserva in Mandrione. Then we have another type of wine. It's a mix between Petit Verdot, Teroldego, that's an Italian wineyard, and Sangiovese, and this name is the name of this type of wine is Aguiloro. And then we have a white one and the grape is Vermentino, that is called 2 Luglio, 2 July. That is the day of birth of my mother.
Oh, fabulous. Marco Bassetti, who is the owner of La Corsa Wines in the beautiful hills of the Tuscan Maremma, and he's bringing some beautiful wines that have a bit of history, but also a bit of modernity about them. So thanks for joining us here at Vinitaly 2012, where we have more.